My peoples. My peoples. So we're gonna talk about two different fights today. We're gonna talk about the fact that Sebastian Fundora versus Xander Zayas has been mandated by the WBO. Something I said was probably coming down the pipe, and there you have it. We gotta talk about it, you know. In yesterday's live, a lot of people were saying this fight was not gonna happen, or that Fundora washes Zayas. We gotta talk about that, man, because it looks like that fight is gonna become a reality. I do not see Sebastian Fundora vacating his title. I see him defending it versus Xander Zayas, who's now the WBO mandatory. And apparently, Edwin de los Santos and Keyshawn Davis are in talks to fight each other, as reported by Ring Magazine. So those are two great fights, two fights that the fans definitely want to see. Previously, it had been reported that Edwin de los Santos was in talks with Frank the Ghost Martin, but apparently that fell through. It seems like he's now talking to Keyshawn Davis, and that's a fight we would definitely want to see. Definitely. William P. Edwin got his number. You think Edwin de los Santos is going to beat Keyshawn Davis? That's a good fight. That's a real competitive fight. I know that, I know what Edwin de los Santos bring to the table, but you got to remember, man, right now, Keyshawn Davis is a legitimate world champion. Got momentum on his side. He's been on a tear. His last fight, you saw that he won spectacularly. So, plus, keep in mind that Edwin de los Santos has been inactive, my G. There has been some inactivity on Edwin de los Santos' side. But that's a strong matchup right there. They're a great matchup. They're made for each other. For, the type of fight that's going to give us fireworks. William P., he fought an old guy, came in overweight and more. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, De Los Santos and Keyshawn Davis, I know if they fight each other, they're both going to be in tip-top shape, and they're both going to show up at their best. I think that for now, I have to give the edge to Keyshawn Davis. I have to give it to him because it's not about him being undefeated. It's just you see his style developing in every fight. You see how good he has been getting. And I think that I know that Keyshawn Davis is going to be the favorite in this fight. It's not going to be like by a wide margin. De Los Santos is a top-notch fighter, an elite level fighter, very quick, great power on both hands. So I know it's going to be super competitive. I know that Keyshawn is not just going to step in there and wash him. But if I have to bet my money, I'm putting it on Keyshawn Davis. And then with Fundora and Xander Zayas, whoa, my peoples. It looked like Xander Zayas is finally going to get his title shot. You've been asking for it. There you have it. William P. Keyshawn better stay away from real competition like he do. I mean, I don't know what you mean that he stay away from real competition. Keyshawn Davis has been calling Tank Davis, has been calling Teofimo Lopez. I don't know what gives you the sense that he's staying away from competition when he's calling out the best fighters out there. Gina Escobar, hola, yo estoy en la casa. Un saludo, Gina. Mucho gusto tenerte aquí en el edificio con nosotros. So, my peoples, what y'all think, man? Xander Zayas finally getting his title shot versus Sebastian Fundora. And I believe that's going to be one of those fights that's filled with fireworks, explosive, and it's going to be obviously super competitive as well. These are two super fights that we're looking at. CEO, hi. What's the deal, my brother? So y'all tell me, man, out of these two fights, number one, which one would you like to see? Would you like to see Xander Zayas and Sebastian Fundoras, or Keyshawn Davis and Edwin de los Santos? William P. Now, if you pay attention, he called out all the little guys. Was scared to make the Frank Martin fight. I mean, I don't know how you came to the conclusion that he was scared to make the Frank Martin fight. That fight was never really in play like that. It was never really in play, but how are you going to say that Shakur Stevenson is... I mean, how are you gonna say that Teofimo Lopez is the little guy, and Tank Davis? How are you gonna say Tank Davis is the little guy? He's supposed to be the man, right? Tank Davis is supposed to be that guy. Well, Keyshawn Davis is calling him out. Ruben, I don't know what any of that mean, my brother. We talking boxing. I hope you talking about boxing. So there you have it, my people. Those are the two fights that right now I think are very big fights. Which, by the way, Terrence Crawford did say that having Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson as the co-main in his Canelo showdown. Whoa, you imagine that, bro? That would explode the internet. That would explode social media. That would explode the boxing stratosphere if that was to happen. 556 Punisher 223. Man, I missed your live when you was watching Fundora. My notifications tripping. It didn't send me that. You went live. Anyways, what's up? What's the deal, my G? Yo, I was live and in full effect, my brother. I uploaded a little short so you can see what the live is all about. You can check out the shorts. You know, you don't have to watch the whole live, but at least you can see a 1-2 minute video. That live was live, my brother. William P. Now, Keyshawn 5'11", bro, and Tank 5'3". Berichick was 5'5". Man, hold on. You cap, my brother. Keyshawn is definitely not no 5'11". You made that shit up out of thin air. I'm going to have to fact check you right now, my G. Look, Keyshawn Davis. Height and feet. Look how quickly, my brother, I debunk your statement. Keyshawn Davis is 5'9", bro. Where you get 5'11" from? That's crazy work. Keyshawn Davis is 5'9". Diego Rodriguez Morales. Hi. What's the deal, Diego? Gustavo. Adam. What's up? What's the deal, Adam? Happy to have you on, my brother. Punisher. I'm for sure watch the live later on and the videos. Yo, you got to check out that live. William P. 5'10", my fault. He not 5'10", bro. He's 5'9". You still adding an inch to his height. You still want to make him look taller than what he is. Stop it, bro. You see, that's why I pull out the facts. If you make something up out of thin air, I pull out the facts. You can look at his listed height everywhere. 5'9". I don't know how you got 5'11". You put him damn near 6 feet tall, my brother. Come on now. Don't do that. Now, there's weight classes for a reason. You look how funny it is. You're saying that he's tall. Well, then Bud Crawford is taller than Canelo. Does that mean that he's bigger? Does that mean that Terrence Bud Crawford is bigger by your own logic? Come on now, man. Don't use height to give fighters an excuse. Now you don't want Tank Davis to fight Keyshawn Davis? You want Tank to fight the little guys? Come on now. William P., that's Google, bro. He definitely 5'10". I don't know where you're getting 5'10" from. Where did you get that from? I don't know. You made that number up out of thin air, my G. You want him to be taller than what he actually is. I don't know why. Stop. He 5'9". But again, Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin de los Santos, that's a great matchup. You know, I see them both as fighters who let their hands go, who you know, they're going in there and they're going to display serious power. And this is the type of fight that somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody going to get hurt, period, point blank. Willie Longshaft, strike while the cheese is warm. Brett made Doncaster Waters. I don't know what you're talking about, my brother. Love more Hinduism. Tank fans live in fantasy world. You see this? Tank Davis fans talk about, nah, he too short to fight these guys. Yo, that's the funny thing, man. With other fighters are like, yo, fight this guy, fight that guy. As soon as Tank Davis come on, he too short. This guy's too tall. Y'all gotta stop that, man. Come on, stop it. William P. Nah, bro. I actually met the kid, bro, at Headbangers and up to when he came to spar Larry Rescue, my boy at 147. Whether you met him or not, bro, there's no way that he's listed at 5'10". That you met him doesn't mean that he was 5'10", bro. Come on now. Willie Longshaft, R.I.P. George Foreman, a legend. That's a fact, my brother. George Foreman, one of the greatest heavyweights to ever do it. Love more Hinduism. Too Short boxing is about weight. I know, bro. Last I checked, boxing is about weight. William P's over here. Nah, he 5'10", and this other guy's 5'5". Like, yo, what the hell? You just gonna disregard the weight classes and start talking about height? That's crazy work, my brother. Come on now. 5'5" Punisher. Tank fan base is the only fan base that has their guy beating everybody without Tank actually having to fight them. Yeah. He beat everybody. Oh, nah, but this guy's too tall for him, though. He don't got to fight him. But he beat him. Like, yeah, come on. Come on, William P. You got to have something better than that, bro. Willie Longshaft. Who your top 5 favorite boxers, champ? Top 5, if I just say it off the top of my head, there might be some changes to that. But right now, I could say Buck Crawford, Usyk, Naoya Inoue, Bivol, Shakur Stevenson. Love more Hinduism. Is that matter? Fundora was too big for Booker. Yo, Fundora versus Booker, by the way, that was crazy. I was calling that fight. What a disgusting beatdown. That was a beating. And I knew it was going to happen. The people that was on this live knew it was going to happen. Everybody was predicting that stoppage was going to come by the 8th or the 7th round. In the 4th, Fundora actually destroyed him. I saw that coming, from the beginning. You could see Booker trying to keep that distance to where nobody could reach each other. I was like, oh, nah. He about to get it. He about to get it. William P, you saying he's too big for Booker, but he's 6'5", bro. So he's gonna be too big for everybody in the division. But guess what? Fundora took a loss at 154. And he's the tallest champion right now in boxing. Does that mean he's too big for the heavyweights too because he's taller? Love more Hinduism. Fundora's an attraction. I mean, he's like a cheat sheet, like a cheat code. This guy has so much height and reach advantage versus every opponent he faced that they got to find a way to get on the inside and put their hands on him. Chambi, Jesus Ramos was the best fight last Saturday. He's the 154-pound boogeyman. He whoops Fundora and takes out Murtasaliev and Bohachuk. I mean, we have to see it, my brother. I know that Jesus Ramos can fight. He can bang. I actually was calling his fight. Yo, that was crazy. That was crazy. The way that Jesus Ramos put that baiting on that man. Look. I'm going to show you a little bit so y'all can see. I'm going to show you just a little bit of me calling Jesus Ramos. That fight was a banger, yo. It was rock'em sock'em robot type of situation. Check this out, my people. Check this out. Straight left hand for Ramos. Check this out. Straight left hand for Ramos. Trying retaliated with a right hook to the body. Ooh, letting them hands go. Ramos is just landing bombs after bomb to the body, to the head. 1-2 from Shram. He's backing down. Ooh, Ramos missed with a nice right hook. Now he caught it with another right hook and a straight left hand. Here we go. He got him in the ropes. Shram is moving but catching a lot of shots. Ramos landing his hands, go 1-2, 1-2. Shram retaliates with a right hook and a left hook to the head. Ramos with a right hook to the body. Ramos with a 1-2-3 to the dome piece. Shram letting his hands go. Ooh, Ramos caught it with a nasty right hook. Broke his nose. You see blood gushing down Shram's nose. Ramos coming forward, right hook to the body, left hook to the head. Ramos is still digging super hard to the body, my peoples. He trying to make him piss blood by tomorrow. Ooh, Ramos with a nasty left hook to the body. Right hook to the body, left hook to the head. I'm trying to tell y'all, my peoples, Ramos Jr. is not a game. Real talk. Willie Longshot, thoughts on BKFC? So, honestly, my brother, that's something I enjoy watching it. But here on this channel is 100% boxing, so we don't really entertain, whether it's MMA or bare knuckle. It is a great sport. I do enjoy watching it, but we don't really discuss it in this specific channel. Champy, Xander Zayas gets whooped by any top 54-pounder, in my opinion. There was a fighter in Pro Box, Vladimir Hernandez. I bet Zayas can't even beat him. I don't know, my brother. I'm going to disagree with you on that opinion. I don't know how you formulated that. I see Xander as a very special fighter. I think he's gonna accomplish big things. He's gonna be a world champion. His style of boxing is very similar to Tito Trinidad. So I really disagree with you, my brother. I don't know how you formulated your opinion, but there isn't anything about Xander Zayas that tells me he's not a top level fighter. He obviously got to put the resume together. He earned the title shot, and he's finally gonna get it. So when he finds Fundora, we're gonna see. Willie Longshot, Joseph Parker versus Usyk be a good fight. Hell yeah. I love that fight, but I will tell you, even though I would like to see Joseph Parker versus Usyk, I think Dubois deserves his shot, his rematch more. Why? Because remember, Dubois landed that nasty body shot that dropped Usyk, and it was scored the low blow. You know, had they scored that shot correctly, you got Dubois winning that fight. So I think that he does deserve his rematch. Matt Gomez, better play-by-play than HBO. You already know it, yo. When they start seeing my play-by-play, they gonna go crazy, bro. I'm talking about crazy. I did the play-by-play for Fundora. I did it for Scott Nicholson, Tara Brown. And that's how I do, my brother. When I do these fights, it's play-by-play, punch-by-punch. You could damn near be listening to it. You don't got to watch the TV and you know what's going on. El Fantasma de Geraldo Leden. Ooh, salute, my brother. Appreciate you coming on. Y'all already know, my peoples. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, my peoples. We in the building. Let's get it. John Parham. Salute, my brother. Yo, John, I know that you remember we was just talking about it in yesterday's live about how the WBO may actually mandate Xander Zayas versus Fundora. And a lot of people say, Fundora's going to smoke him, he's going to wash him. Well, it looks like that fight is going to happen because the fight is finally mandated by the WBO. And I think we all know that Fundora's not going to vacate that title. No chance. He's not going to vacate. Even after the fight, when they asked him, he was like, yo, I'm all about the smoke. And he's with it. He's with it. Fundora is about that action. So honestly, there's no way that I could even imagine him vacating the title to avoid facing Xander Zayas. There you have it right there. It has been officially mandated by the WBO, my peoples. Those who were in the live with me yesterday or before yesterday, y'all know what I'm talking about. I said this was something that can happen. And there you have it. It has happened. So now, I'm guessing that we're going to get this fight next. I honestly see it happening next. JJ Zendejas, hello J Smith, I'm here. That like button, everyone. God bless. Good fights this last week. And no doubt, my brother, a lot of action. Great fights in the morning and fights at night. It just can't get better than that. William Longshot, Conor Benn versus Eubank. Who you picking? To be honest, my God, I know that Conor Benn is a smaller fighter, but I got a feeling that he's going to spark Chris Eubank clean out. I just feel that way. Especially after he got slapped with them eggs. He just got that energy, bro. That mean energy. Like he want to just inflict some damage on Chris Eubank. I see Chris Eubank being real relaxed, real as a matter of fact type of mood. And I don't like it, man. I like Conor Benn's energy, the way he coming in. And I don't know, man. I just feel like he's going to do something special on that night when they face each other. Student HS, bro. I lose all my life savings by gambling. Any advice? Stop gambling. That's what I could tell you, my guys. Stop gambling and find a different way. 555 Punisher. Why will he avoid Zayas? After Fundora winning that fight, I always wanted to see Zayas tested, so I hope he gets made next. I agree with you. Now, Xander Zayas is a fighter I personally see as someone who is special. I'm telling you right now. So, I'm not making a prediction yet because no contracts have been signed. I will tell you right now that's a very, very competitive fight. Nobody's watching nobody. Nobody's just going to get smoked. If they sign contracts, you're going to see my prediction. But I will tell you, Xander Zayas is a special fighter, bro. Hash Bass. I got Eubanks. And it's fair enough. I believe Chris Eubank because he's the bigger guy, he might actually even be the favorite for that fight. You got Conor Ben moving up. So that's reasonable. I understand why people would pick Chris ahead of Conor Ben. Punisher. Fundora has more than height and reach. He's tough and aggressive. He has a nasty uppercut and he has a good chin. Well, you gotta look at Xander Zayas. I would say all of those same things about him too. He a very tough fighter, very aggressive, hard puncher, got power in both hands, and he got real good movement. I believe that he will be able to get on the inside on Fundora. I believe it. JJ Xander has nice matchup. Let's go. I believe that's an amazing matchup. John Parham. Ooh, John Parham got Conor Ben over Chris Eubank Jr. Willie Longshaft. If you could watch any fight in the past or in the future, what fight would it be? I'm going to have to watch Canelo versus Crawford. I already know how that's going to end up. I already told everybody, but I like to see that fight already, man. September look like it's too far away. I want to see it right now, and I would if I could. Matt Gomez. Fundora is a bigger version of Tommy the Hitman. Just probably not as polished considering the Kronk Gym. That's a good analysis. The only difference is that I think Thomas the Hitman Hearns was a lot better from the outside. We know that. Fundora, he's been using that jab, but he still like to mix it up on the inside. And he don't use his, he like to fight inside of a phone booth. You don't see him using his height and reach like that. I would say Thomas the Hitman Hearns was somebody who used that height and reach more effectively than Fundora, I would say. Love more Hinduism. Canelo TKO Bud. I doubt it, my guy. I seriously doubt it. Matter of fact, I don't doubt it. It's not going down like that. Ban. Ruiz going to give Haney a lot of problems, and Crawford stopped Canelo in the 10th. Listen, bro, I've been telling people, this fight versus Devin Haney got a tough opponent in front of him. Jose Ramirez, you mean. Jose Ramirez got popped in both hands. And remember, Devin Haney's coming off of a fight where he took a nasty beating. So we have to see how is he going to handle it when he gets touched up by a guy who's heavy-handed. That could mean something for this next fight. We shall see. I believe that he should be able to outbox Jose Ramirez. But if he get touched up and he can't handle it, it could be problems. John Parham, Willie versus Floyd for me. Tank versus Floyd for me. Both in their prime. That would be a good matchup. That would be a good fight. Shaggy, Ramirez for the KO. I mean, let's see how Devin Haney's gonna hold up when he get hit. When he get hit with a good shot, we have to see how it's gonna play out. Willie Longshaft, Floyd Mayweather defense is brilliant. I mean, Floyd Mayweather is arguably the best defensive fighter of all time. There's a few guys who are there with him, because if you look at Sweepy, Pernell Whitaker, that defense was crazy. And there's a few, Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime, defense crazy. So there's a few fighters, just a few, who they just had a defensive style, and just the way that they moved, their ring IQ, their footwork was just crazy. Man, James Toney was another guy who in his prime, it was really hard to catch him flush. JJ Zendejas, Chavez, and Edwin Rosario. Ooh, the throwback jump off. John Parham, don't forget to hit the like button, my peoples. Real talk, I appreciate it, John. Y'all already know, man. Hit that like button, subscribe. We already hit the 1,000 subscribers. Well, we headed to 2,000, and ultimately we headed for 1 million, my peoples. Box Center is gonna be the #1 boxing channel. Period, point blank. There's no getting around it. It's the inevitable. But again, my peoples, this possible fight with Keyshawn Davis and Edwin De Los Santos is very interesting. Very, very interesting, my peoples. Keyshawn Davis, we already know he's finally a world champion. He got momentum on his side. He's been on a tear. But everybody who knows that Edwin De Los Santos can fight. This guy got skills. He got power. He got good defense, good movement in the ring, good ring IQ. That's a good fight, man. I hope they can make it happen. Jesus Alede, Logan Paul versus Jake Paul in a boxing match. Who's going to win? To be honest, I don't give a damn about those two fighting each other. I'm not even interested. Who's going to win? I don't know. Their fans are going to win, not me. I don't even... Maybe I watch the replay if I'm bored, but I'm not even interested in that fight. And definitely wouldn't pay for it. John Parham, Shaggy, definitely. But again, a lot of people was telling me yesterday on my last live that Fundora is going to wash Xander Zayas. And I'm telling you, my peoples, if you're saying that, what that suggests to me is that you're underestimating Xander Zayas. He's a lot better than you think, I promise you. This kid can fight. Xander can fight. He's a special talent. And those who think that he's just going to get washed by Fundora, he's going to get smoked, you're going to be disappointed. It's not going to go down like that. I'm not predicting who's winning or losing because, like I said, there's no contracts that have been signed. But I'm telling you right now, that's a real good fight. That's a real good fight. Willie Longshot, Vitaly Klitschko versus Prime James Toney. Who wins? I think I'm going with James Toney in that fight. I mean, Klitschko a very big guy, though, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. Hash Bash, James Toney versus Evander Holyfield. Nah. I'm picking Holyfield. I'm picking Holyfield to beat James Toney. Both in their prime, I'm rocking with Evander Holyfield. And James Toney, a great fighter, but the real deal Holyfield... Roger Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker. I'm rocking with Pernell Whitaker all day long. Sweet Pete. Gabe Rivera. Dímelo, mi hermano. What's the deal, my G? Jesus Allende. Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson. Who you got? I'm not interested in that fight. Mike Tyson is retired. Logan Paul is not a boxer. I'm not even interested in that fight. Enough to pick. Matt Gomez. Bank is going to try the old rope-a-dope on Ben, considering the egg to the face tactic to stir up the emotions of Ben, causing him to gas out early. I mean, we shall see, because I know that, Conor Ben is focused. I don't think that he's just going to go crazy. I think he is going to try to blast him out of there, but I think he's going to be very smart, especially early on. He's going to study Chris and see what he's coming with. I don't know, man. I don't know. Güero, salute, my brother. But I do believe Conor Ben and Chris Eubank, that's going to be a war on both sides. Conor Ben don't like him, but Chris Eubank don't like him either. And he wants to go in there and put in a great performance. I believe, by the end of the first round, we're already seeing the haymakers flying in that fight. Real talk. Bang. I feel like Garcia versus Haney ain't going to happen next. I feel upset coming for some reason. Ooh. Listen, honestly, I believe Ryan Garcia is going to knock Rolly out. Rolly Romero getting knocked out by Ryan Garcia. So, maybe Jose Ramirez might upset Devin Haney. Because it's like I said, right now, Devin Haney, to me at least, is a big question mark. When a fighter take a nasty beating, you don't know how he's going to look next. You don't know if he's going to react when he get hit, if he's going to drop, if he's going to get over defensive and go in a shell and take another beating. You just don't know. So I want to see where Devin Haney's at right now. And we're going to find out. Because we know Devin Haney's not a knockout artist. He's not going to go in there and knock Jose Ramirez out, right? If he's going to win, he's going to win on points. He's going to go the distance. So you're going to get hit. You're not going to go 12 rounds versus a guy of Jose Ramirez caliber and not get hit. What's going to happen when he finally gets touched up? I want to see that. I want to see it. Now, if he does win that fight on points and has to fight Ryan Garcia right afterwards, which that's what they're planning on, I think I got Ryan Garcia winning that fight again. Honestly, for some reason, I feel like Ryan just has his number. All them times they faced each other off in the amateurs, and then they also sparred, and I feel like Ryan Garcia just got his number. Sometimes a fighter just got your number and they could beat you. That's how I see that playing out. John Parham, either way, Ryan and Haney will happen. Willie Longshaft, Ward versus Gotti. One hell of a fight. That's a fact. Those two went to war. John Parham. Willie, top 5 for sure. Matt Gomez. Rolly is going to sleep. Haney going night-night. Oh, you got Haney going to sleep too, bro? Lopez better be hungry. It's not a bad card at all. Yo, I've been telling people, all three of those fights can turn into a slugfest in any given moment. You got to think about this. Teofimo Lopez slapped this dude. Slapped him. You seen that? And my man's, damn, his name slipped away from my mind, my people. Bro fighting Teofimo. Barboza. Yo, Barboza, I'm trying to tell you, my peoples, he's going in there feeling real confident, feeling like he could put the beats on Teofimo. You got to be careful with a fighter like that. Elite ex-Cubano, Barboza a bum. I mean, I don't know why would you say that. I don't know why would you say that an undefeated guy who earned the title shot, who's highly rated, who's beat ranked opponents. I don't know why you would call him a bum. I don't know how you came up with that. He's going to give Teofimo Lopez a very tough fight, which, by the way, he's been trying to get the fight with Teofimo for like 2-3 years already. And now the only reason he got that fight is because he's the mandatory. So Teofimo either had to vacate or defend against Barboza. That's the guy who earned this shot, my brother. I don't know how you call him a bum. I really don't. Raw Dog. A lot of people always think the big name win, but it's wrong. That's true. The big names don't always win. It's not always the case. It's definitely not always the case. Willie Longshot. Who are your favorite ever Cuban boxers? Who used to watch the Contender boxing? I would say favorite Cuban boxers, I have to go with Joel Casamayor. He was a great Cuban boxer. El Jacal, another great Cuban boxer. Right now, active, I love David Morrell. Robesi, I love Robesi, a great top-notch fighter. Andy Cruz, I think Andy Cruz and Keyshawn Davis, they're on a collision course, and eventually they're going to meet up. That's also a great matchup. JJ Zendejas, I hope Haney is not damaged goods. I tell you what, if we're going to get the old Devin Haney, who's going to box you, who's going to use his footwork, I believe that he could even make easy work of Jose Ramirez. But if Devin Haney try that shit that he tried with Ryan Garcia, where he's going to go toe-to-toe and trade leather, he could get hurt in this fight. And he could end up even getting stopped. So let's see how he's going to come through. Jesus Allende, Haney versus Logan Paul or Jake Paul. That's not even worth predicting, my brother. Logan Paul and Jake Paul, they not boxers. They not real boxers. Devin Haney's a world champion. I wouldn't put their names along with any world champion. Gabe Rivera, I got Barboza, and I think Ramirez can pull it out late. That's what that's why I like that card, because they, three guys who don't like each other, Devin Haney, Teofimo, they don't like each other, and they don't like Ryan Garcia. These three guys are sharing the stage, and you can see them going at each other like Teofimo was going at Ryan Garcia. They're not even fighting each other, and they arguing on stage. Like, that's a great card because it's three young stars who are fighting three high-level opponents. Anybody could be upset in this card. I believe that the one who has the most possibility of getting upset is Teofimo. I believe that Barboza is the strongest opponent out of all of them. That's my personal opinion, because I see Rolly getting knocked out. Unless Rolly doesn't land one of them crazy looping shots that he throws and Ryan gets hurt, I see Rolly going to sleep. Jesus Allende, who's the guy in the best boxer in the world? He was on WWE. I don't know who you're talking about, bro. I don't know who you're talking about. Elitex Cubano, Barboza lost versus McComb. Tell me I'm lying. But, bro, that's a matter of opinion. That's a matter of opinion. You could look up a lot of... I could tell you Tank lost versus Roach. Tell me I'm lying. At the end of the day, Tank still don't got a loss on his record. So, we can argue opinion or debate opinion all day long, but at the end of the day, he walked out of there with the W. Hash Bass, he's talking about Floyd Mayweather. JJ Zendejas, he needs to stay on the outside to have a chance. Willie Longshaft. Moses, the young heavyweight, definitely a future champ. I mean, we have to see. We have to see, because look at Jared Anderson. I thought he was a future champion, and just a couple of years ago, he said, "Oh, I don't really need a belt. I don't really need it. I don't care about titles." And you see, he got beat up by Bacoli, so he just doesn't look like a fighter who's hungry. So, we have to see. We have to see young fighters come up and actually show that they're hungry, show that they want it. Gabe Rivera Red, you lying. I'm not. What am I lying about, my brother? I'm not sure what are you referring to. But again, my peoples, we was talking about Xander Zayas possibly getting his shot at Fundora. A lot of people said Xander was going to get smoked. And there you go. The WBO mandated that fight, so it's going to happen. I don't see Fundora vacating his strap to avoid Zayas. Fundora's not a duck. He's for all the smoke, and they even asked him, "You willing to fight Xander Zayas?" He was like, "I'm willing to fight anybody." So I think we're going to see that fight, my peoples. Viz, hi, my brother. Much love from Australia. What's the deal, Viz? Always appreciate you dropping in, my G. Elite Ex-Cubano. Gabe, you bugging. Go back and watch the fight against Macomb. It was worse than the Gusha robbery. Willie Longshot, brilliant channel this, bro. I appreciate it, my God. Jesus Allende, Floyd Mayweather versus Haney. Who will win? I would have, if that fight was to happen, both in their prime, Floyd Mayweather for sure. Gabe Rivera, not you, Papa. I appreciate you, my G. Elite Ex-Cubano, top round protection plan with Barboza. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like you simply don't like Barboza, my guy. This is a fighter who's been fighting ranked opponents and beating. All you got to do, go look at the box rec and look at how his star rating, and it tells you. I think what happens with boxing, my guy, is that, the way people judge boxers is like, you got to fight a big star for me to consider you a good fighter. If you're not fighting big stars and big names, you're no good. And it's not that way, yo. Barboza, he's a very good fighter. He's doing his thing. And he's a mandatory for a title shot for a reason. He earned that shot, my guy. Floyd Mayweather versus Haney, who wins? I got Floyd Mayweather winning that fight. Devin Haney, a very good fighter, an elite level fighter, but I got Floyd beating him. Elite Ex-Cubano, Barboza best win is Catterall. I mean, listen, we're going to find out the type of fighter Barboza is when he fights Teofimo Lopez. You don't think he's that good? Wait till they fight and you'll see. Because I can tell you right now, this right now, no matter who wins between Teofimo and Barboza, it's going to be a very, very good fight. It's going to be a very competitive fight. I promise you that. So, if you're in a very good fight with Teofimo Lopez, one of the best young fighters right now, then that tells you that he's a good fighter too. I hope that Teofimo don't win close on the scorecards or wins even a split decision, and then you would still say, look, he's a bum, he lost, or he's a hype job, he lost. If he wins in a close fight, if he loses in a close fight, it tells you that he's a very good fighter. That's how you know right there. Teofimo's going to have to pull out all of the tools and resources in his arsenal to beat him. So, Barboza, a very good fighter, man. It's going to be close. Willie Longshaft, Deontay Wilder has some scary power. Listen, Deontay Wilder is one of the hardest punchers of this era. The only thing is that he wasn't the most talented fighter. Deontay Wilder was able to get all the way to the top because of his physical attributes. Like, think about Fundora. Now, Fundora can box. He's very technical, has some great resources, but his height and reach are a big factor. We were just talking about that earlier. So Deontay Wilder, so tall with such length, and then that power behind it, when he caught you, he took you out. There was multiple fights that he was losing. He was being outboxed. If you look at Wilder versus King Kong Ortiz, he was being outboxed in that first fight and losing. But when he finally landed that right hand, boom, it was all over. Murder, she wrote. So Wilder had that type of power to change everything. As far as, talent, raw talent, technique, his mechanics, he wasn't very good. And I used to always say, listen, when Wilder fights somebody who's as tall as him, when he don't have the height and reach advantage, he's going to get beat up. And look what happened when he finally got in the ring with Fury. When he no longer had those benefits, that height and that reach, he got beat up. Took a nasty beating. Look where he fought Big Bang Zhang, who's a pretty big dude. Took a nasty beating. So Wilder, salute to Deontay Wilder anyways, though, because he started boxing real late, yet he was able to go all the way to the top. So you got to give him his respect. Elite Escubano, who you got? Bam versus Inoue. I mean, that's a tough one to call. Right now, obviously, they're not even in the same weight class. And it's going to be Inoue moving up to Bam's. Inoue is going to be the smaller guy physically, but he's so talented. And then Bam is also a generational talent. It's hard for me to call it right now, my brother. Honestly, I think we got to keep in mind Inoue is a little bit older than Bam. And if they face each other, let's say in 5 years, Inoue is going to be 5-6 years. Inoue is going to be his mid-30s and Bam in his late 20s. So age-wise, is going to be in Bam's favor. But it's hard for me to call that fight, bro, for real, because they're both such great, talented fighters. Top-level guys. Now you tell me who you got if Keyshawn Davis and De Los Santos fight each other. And my peoples, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. But yeah, man, if Keyshawn Davis and Edwin De Los Santos fight each other next, who y'all got, my peoples? Willie Longshav Lomachenko was a great boxer. That's a fact. That's a fact. The Matrix. Elite Ex-Cubano, like and subscribe. Appreciate you, my guy. There's some videos up of me calling the fights from this Saturday. Some shorts. So if you don't want to watch a whole video, the shorts are like a minute and a half. Check those out, my people. I uploaded multiple videos today. You don't want to miss it. I promise you, fire content. Now listen, I'm going to tell you like this. If Keyshawn Davis and Edwin De Los Santos do fight, and I have to predict it right now, I'm rocking with Keyshawn Davis. And the reason I say that is because, Keyshawn Davis, he's an elite level fighter. He's up there. He got Bo Mack in his corner. He's doing a lot of little things that he's looking like Terrence Crawford in the ring. I think Keyshawn Davis beats De Los Santos in a competitive fight. Because, nobody's going to watch De Los Santos. It's not going to happen. He's not just going to get smoked. He's going to put up a good fight. But Keyshawn Davis, I think technically he's above De Los Santos and he'll be able to pull it off. Lawrence Carmichael, come on, my people. Hit that like button. Appreciate you, my G. Yeah. Elite Ex-Cubano, Key is a special fighter. I'm telling you, Keyshawn Davis is a special fighter. And I believe he's on a collision course to fighting his guy from the Olympics. Y'all know who's his guy from the Olympics, right? His dude. Can y'all take a guess? Who's Keyshawn Davis' guy from the Olympics? Cuban. Un cubano, papi. There you go. Cruz. He's already been calling for Keyshawn Davis. But we got to be realistic. He got to get his name up. You know what I'm saying? He got to get his name up, and that's a blockbuster. That's a blockbuster matchup. You got to think about this. When they say Keyshawn Davis is going to fight the guy who beat him in the amateurs, 3 times, 4 times, and beat him in the Olympics, that's going to be a big deal. But I will tell you, what happened in the amateurs will not necessarily reflect what happened in the pros. Don't get it twisted. Don't assume that automatically Cruz is going to beat Keyshawn Davis just because he beat him in the amateurs. I'm telling you right now. MAW, hello boxing fans, Jay and chat. Smash that like button, folks. Appreciate you, my G. Y'all already know, man. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And most of all, my people, share Box Center with other people. Share Box Center across social media, whether it's on your Instagram, whether it's on your Facebook. Take the videos from Box Center, bam, post them shit on Facebook. Because guess what? We're going to be number one. Let's make this happen, my peoples. Willie Longshaft, sub. Appreciate you, my brother. You already know it. We hit 1,000 last week, headed for 2,000, and we going for 1,000,000. We going for a watermelon, 1,000,000. Willie Longshaft watching from the UK. Ooh, oh, you up in the UK, my G. That's what's up. UK been showing me love lately. Lawrence Carmichael, I got you, brother. I appreciate you, my G. And rest in peace, Big George. Hell yeah. George Foreman. Psh, salute to George Foreman. Rest in peace. I always say it, man, when his name come up. One of the best heavyweights to ever lace on a pair of gloves in any era. We don't, generational talent, we don't have somebody like George Foreman in this entire era of boxing. George Foreman smokes everybody from today's era. Absolutely everybody. There's nobody that fights today or in the last 20 years that George Foreman, prime George Foreman, wouldn't have smoked brutally. So yes, George Foreman, we got to give him his flowers. That's facts. Now, I digress. I want to remind y'all, in my last live, we was talking about the possibility of Xander Zayas becoming the mandatory for Sebastian Fundora. That has become a reality. He's the mandatory, and I can promise you right now, my peoples, there is no chance that Sebastian Fundora is going to vacate his title. This kid is not a duck. He's not. Sebastian Fundora got that dog in him. And he's not going to back down from a challenge. I'm telling you that right now. So I believe we're on a collision course when it comes to Sebastian Fundora and Xander Zayas. And Xander's finally going to show the naysayers, the people that say he's a hype job and he's not that good and all this crazy stuff. Xander Zayas is going to show y'all what he's really about. He don't need to prove it to me. I already know. He passed the eye test with flying color. And I recognize talent when I see it. Xander Zayas is a special fighter. I'm not telling you he's winning or losing versus Fundora. Like I said, I'm going to wait till they sign the contracts to make an actual prediction. But I can tell you right now, nobody's getting washed. Nobody's getting smoked. Xander Zayas can fight, and you're going to see it on that night. Willie Longshaft, what decade was the best era of boxing? The 70s, the 80s. I mean, honestly, it's hard for me to say because I wasn't there for the original Four Kings. You know, I was born in 78, so I missed the 70s. You're a baby. I caught the late 80s and the 90s. And I could say, look, based on historical data, the 70s was great, the 80s was great, and the 90s was great. And in the early 2000s, it kind of dropped off a little bit. And this is the biggest problem, B. After Floyd Mayweather retired, a lot of fights don't get made because now everybody want to be like Floyd. Everybody want to protect that O. Everybody want to be undefeated. As opposed to, you know, back then where the best fighters were consistently fighting each other. So everybody took a L. You know, we need to go back to that. Look at some of the greatest fighters to ever do it. Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Duran, Manos de Piedra Duran, Marvin Hagler, Evander Holyfield, Larry Holmes, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis. They all took losses on their record, multiple losses. So, and that didn't make people think, oh, you're a bum, or you're a hype job. That's like this new social media era of boxing fans. You take one loss, oh, he a bum, he a hype job, he got exposed. Nah, the best fighters to ever fight, most of them took a loss. 2 losses, 3 losses, 4 losses. Because why? If the best fight each other, somebody got to lose. Unfortunately, that's why we don't get those fights now. People don't want to take that out. Elite Ex-Cubano, I like Xander. But the reach and height difference is crazy. Yo, Xander Zayas is not a short guy. He's not a very short guy because Fundora is going to have height and reach on everybody. But if you saw them face to face, Xander's not a short dude. I think he like what, like 5'10" or some shit like that. He's not a short guy. So Xander Zayas, he's gonna be there to fight, and he's not gonna be running around. Elite Escubano, Xander versus Lubin. Oh no, I got Xander lumping Lubin up. Lubin is a good fighter, but I don't think he's up there with the best of them. I don't think he could compete like that. I mean, no, he could give a competitive fight, but he doesn't beat the top guys. I believe Xander is that special that he can. JJ Xander has Fundora and Xander smoke clears and signed the contract. I'm telling you, that fight is going to happen. I'm telling y'all right now. Sebastian Fundora is not going to duck. He's going to take that fight. So we will see Sebastian Fundora versus Xander Zayas next. That's why they call me Jay Stradamus. I don't have to wait for it to happen. I'll predict it for y'all, and it happens. Watch. I'm the human algorithm, my people. I analyze everything. I'm not just talking for talking. I analyze it. Okay, Sebastian Fundora. He's not trying to duck anybody. He already said that he's down with it. Down with the smoke with Xander Zayas and any of them. Xander Zayas went to see Fundora in his last fight. Even asked for a face-off, which Gabriela Fundora did not allow that face-off. But the fact that Xander wanted to do a face-off with him right after his fight, it shows you Xander Zayas is dying to get his shot. Dying to get his shot. And that, look, a lot of people don't realize when you say things like, he didn't fight nobody, he didn't beat nobody. He fought the ranked opponents that earned him a title shot. Xander Zayas absolutely deserved a title shot at Sebastian Fundora. And now he's going to get it. Because like I told you, Fundora is definitely not going to vacate that title. That WBO strap, Fundora's holding on and defending it versus all comers. So we are going to get Fundora versus Zayas next. I promise you. Soon as they sign those contracts, you're going to see my prediction. They sign those contracts, I'm predicting. And by the way, my peoples, just yesterday, Terrence Buck Crawford, y'all know he's supposed to be fighting Canelo in September. Even Bo Max said it in his last interview. Oh, what we got next? We got Canelo in September. We're waiting for him to get past Scully in May, and we got him in September. So that fight is going to happen. No ifs, ands, or buts. And Terrence Crawford said that he would love to have Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis as the undercard. You imagine that? You imagine Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford, and the co-main event is Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis? That would explode social media. All boxing pages, all boxing channels would absolutely go mayhem, berserk. That's the type of situation, if it was to happen, when that card takes place, the streets will be shut down. If that was to happen, you're going to look out your window, there ain't going to be nobody outside. Because even people who don't watch boxing will be watching that card. Elite Escubano, that would be bananas. That shit would be crazy, bro. That'd be crazy. Lawrence Carmichael, Tank been exposed. I mean, he had his little situation with Lamar Roach, but you got to remember, they got a rematch. So if he's able to win that rematch, which, by the way, I think Roach might beat him, but if he wins the rematch, he's going to be at a good time frame to fight in September. Then fight Shakur. But I don't know, because honestly, I feel like Tank Davis been ducking Shakur for the last 2-3 years, and he just really doesn't want to fight him. He really doesn't want to take that L. So I don't know. They got to offer him the type of money that he could say, you know what, I'll take this loss. That's a lot of money. All right, I'll do it. JJ Xander. Back then, there was no social media. Just men wanting to fight men, and we had some good fights. Lots of telephone booth fights. Yo, back then, boxing was just different, bro. It was different. The best were fighting the best consistently. Hey, Hanson, hey, how old are you? That's not a boxing question, my guy. Come on now. We talking boxing. You want to know how old I am? What's good with that? Matt Gomez. Best and worst father-son team in your opinion. Joe Kalasagi and his dad. Worst, Zab Judah and his dad. So I'm gonna tell you like this. Look, it's hard for me to say because sometimes we judge simply by what by what we see on TV. Like I would say, yo, Teofimo, his father be giving him some wild instructions. Go fuck him up. Go out there, fuck him up. Like, what kind of instructions are those, bro? Like, I'm trying to fuck him up. Be what you're talking about. So, I think it's hard to say. Like, look, you got Zab Judah and his pops, and I would tell you, I used to train in Gleason's gym as an amateur boxer. And I met Zab Judah. That's where Zab Judah used to train. And I used to see him every day. Every day I used to see Zab Judah. In fact, that's the reason why, I touched base with him on Instagram. He remembered me, and he follows me on IG because of that. And we be talking privately and shit. And I can tell you, bro, if you see Joel Judah with Zab in the, handling him in sparring, handling the pass, working with him, he was a great trainer. They was a great team, bro. They was a real solid team. So, but we see on TV, maybe trash talking, maybe behaving a certain way or saying certain things. So I think it's really hard to say based on what we see on TV, like who's really a good team and who's not. Elite Ex Cubano, what you think about that Reynoso Tio split? I don't know, man. Somebody said Tio Fimo got fired on his day off. It was crazy. I don't know what happened there because that supposedly Ryan Garcia also got fired on his day off. So what I think may have happened, that these guys are fighting in May 2nd, and Canelo's fighting the following weekend. So this is what I believe. I believe that Eddie Reynoso, he got three stars with him, and he's not going to be able to give the same attention to everyone. So what I believe is that, Canelo Alvarez is Reynoso's guy. He's been with him since Canelo was a kid. So he's going to give all of his time and attention to Canelo Alvarez. Teofimo probably complaining like, yo, what's up? This nigga ain't even working with me. Ryan complaining too. And we're like, you know what? Y'all both fired. Go get somebody else. I got to work with my boy Canelo. That's what I think may have happened. Matt Gomez, thanks for that insight. Mad love from NYC. Appreciate it, my guy. NYC, that's where I grew up. That's my home base. Elite Escubano, good point. I mean, you got to think about it. All three of them are in training camp at the same time. Who is Eddie Reynoso really going to be paying attention to? You think with Canelo Alvarez in the gym, Eddie Reynoso going to be holding the pass for Ryan Garcia? He going to be holding the pass for Teofimo? And have Canelo working with somebody else? Nah. I believe that Eddie Reynoso, rightfully so, is going to be working with his main guy, Canelo Alvarez. And then Ryan Garcia, who's a star, who's used to getting the attention from the trainer. Teofimo, also a star, also want to get the attention. Eddie Reynoso was like, yo, y'all need to get the hell out of here, go look for somebody else. I'm working with my guy. And that's fair enough. I think we all got to respect that. Anybody in that situation will do the same thing that he did. But we're going to see. And by the way, I don't just love that card because of these three, star fighters that are going to be all of them on that card. But you think about it, man, in Times Square, there's never been boxing in Times Square, bro. And then, they're going to be, it's outside, they're going to be surrounded by skyscrapers, throwing leathers. Not leather, leathers in plural. Come on, bro. That card is going to be crazy. That's the type of card that even people who don't follow boxing are going to be tuning in just because it's in Times Square. So I really like that idea from His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh and his team. I know that after this card, they're also planning one for Alcatraz. You imagine that? In Alcatraz, people are going to go to that little island to go watch boxing. That shit is going to be insane. That shit is going to be... I will pay my paycheck for a whole month. Take my whole paycheck. Take me to Alcatraz to see this fights. So obviously I'm gonna have to watch on TV, but I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to that card in Times Square. Surrounded by buildings. I don't know how they're going to place the cameras or where, but the background, just the overall atmosphere is going to be crazy in New York City. It's going to be insane, bro. JJ Zendejas. Sounds about right. I'm trying to tell you, my G. He's going to be crazy up in Times Square. But, by the way, because we've been talking about all these star fighters that are going to be fighting, Lamont Roach and Tank Davis, that rematch is going to go down. Now, I already been saying it. Lamont Roach publicly in an interview already said, I signed my half of the contract already. We just waiting on them. You think about that. Think about what that means. JJ Zendejas, the one that makes the most money. You think about what that means. Lamar Roach is saying, I already signed my half. We waiting on them. What does that really mean? You telling me that Tank Davis, who said that he wanted a rematch right after they finished the fight, like when they announced it was a draw shortly afterwards, when they spoke with Tank Davis, he said he wanted a rematch. Yeah, he hasn't signed the contract for that rematch. What does that really mean? What is making Tank hesitate? Hash bash. A lot of people don't pay attention to the undercard, and that's how you get to see up-and-coming special fighters. That's facts. That's facts. Matt Gomez, one of the most underrated trainers of the past 20 years. Nassim Richardson. You got any trainer you think are underrated that we might not know about? I'll tell you. There's a few. But I have to say, there's a few names. There's a few names that I could think of. I don't want to say it off the top of my head because I don't want to put anybody ahead of everybody. But there's a few good trainers out there, man. There's a few real good trainers. JJ Zendejas. I hope it feels like the old school card. I mean, listen, in Times Square, it's going to feel that way. Because, think about it. We got Ryan Garcia versus Rollies as the main event. And then the two fights before that is Teofimo Lopez versus Barboza and Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. Those three fights back to back, and listen, that thing is going to be on fire. They're going to be going berserk up in New York City. Especially with those type of fights where I'm going to tell you why I really like that card. All three of those fights have either two punchers. There's two punchers with Ryan Garcia and Rollies. There's two punchers with Teofimo Lopez and Barboza. And then there's a puncher and a boxer with Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez. Devin Haney's the only boxer in this card. In 5 punchers. So you're looking at fireworks. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, my peoples. 556 Punisher, bro. Where's the little glasses at, my G? The little glasses, them things was damn near covering up my whole face. So I only, like, when I'm calling a fight, I have a bigger lamp. And that thing was damn near making me go blind, so I needed the glasses. I'm just pulling them out for that. Hash Bass, Tail can box too. Oh, for sure. For sure he can box. But he likes to bang. And in every single one of his fights, at one point or another, a fight's going to break out and he's going to bang. You know, he's not consistently going to just keep using the footwork and keep the jab out there and the ring movement. He's going to stand his ground and bang with you. So there's a lot, and he's a power puncher. So we're going to see fireworks, my people. So May 2nd in Times Square, I can't wait to call that fight. Matter of fact, y'all already know, those who've already seen me and I got a lot of compliments on the way I do the play-by-play. I'm calling every punch landing, I'm calling it. And people feeling it. They're like, yo, somebody even told me, yo, Jay, you call it like the old school. Like, I was in the gym. I wasn't even watching the fight. I was just listening to you, and it felt like I was watching it. So the way I call the fights, my peoples, I'm gonna be calling all of the big fights. Y'all gonna see me calling them. That's how I do. 555 Punisher. I'm just messing. I commented on one of your vids. It was funny when you said these some big ass glasses. I'm trying to tell you, man. I needed them. They worked. They got the job done. I was able to call the fights and rock the big ass glasses. But yo, my peoples, I really want y'all to tune in for these fights and see how I call them. It's, I don't copy anybody. I don't try to do it like anybody else. I'm just doing my thing, enjoying the sport of boxing, and sharing, the play-by-play with y'all. Doing it the way I do it. And, yo, if you haven't hit that like button, come on, man. Hit that like button. Don't even play like that. You know I'm him. Subscribe. And we headed for 1 million, my people. We going to be number one. This is going to be the number one boxing channel. Like, there's no getting around it. 556 Punisher, please. Wear them again next time. Because they are golden. You got it, my guy. You got it. I was trying to see if I had a smaller lamp so I don't have to wear them, but I'll rock them again for show. For show. Big ass glasses. But again, my peoples, what do we think about Keyshawn Davis and Edwin De Los Santos? What do we think about that fight? I had a few people tell me that De Los Santos is going to upset Keyshawn Davis. Like I said, I'm not ready to make a prediction. All I can say right now is that that's a very good fight. That's a very good fight. De Los Santos is not going to get washed by nobody. And, of course, Keyshawn Davis ain't getting washed by nobody. He's going to be the favorite if they actually fight each other. Rightfully so. What do y'all think, man? I think Barboza is more of a boxer. I mean, listen, Barboza, he can box. But if you look at all his fights, he loves to bang. He'll box you, but he loves to bang. He loves to stand in the middle of the ring and trade leather. It's not like I'll give you an example. If you look at Devin Haney, he's had fights where he's boxing his opponent throughout the whole fight for 12 rounds. Using his movement, slipping, bam, bam, moving. Working using every single inch of that ring while tagging you, bam, bam, peppering you with punches from all angles, movement, body work. Devin Haney's a pure boxer. Barboza, he's not going to do that with you for 12 rounds, man. He's going to work with you a little bit, but eventually he's going to let them hands fly and try to fight you inside of a phone booth, bro. Devin Haney can fight you in a football field. Barboza want to fight inside of a phone booth. He got the ability to box. He want to bang. And you can see that in every fight. Eduardo Alvarez Iglesias, Macho Camacho good. Hector Macho Camacho was a special talent. A lot of people only remember him, especially if you're younger, from the fights that he lost at the tail end of his career. Multi-division champion, top-level fighter. And by the way, since you mentioned Macho Camacho Jr. is coming to Dominican Republic in a few weeks. He's going to link up with me, so you're going to see me making some videos with the legend's son, Macho Camacho Jr. Elite Ex-Cubano, if Edwin loses versus Key, I like to see that Rayo de los Santos rematch. Yo, Rayo versus de los Santos, that was a crazy fight. They both dropped each other. And honestly, I would like to see that rematch. That would be a heck of a rematch. 556 Punisher. Devil will be the best if he has some power. He tries to bound while he's in boxing for his timing. And he commits to his punches nicely. But, man, he has no power. I think that's the only weakness Devin Haney has is the situation with the power. If you're fighting somebody who is really hard and they have no respect for your power, they're going to constantly try to walk you down. And that's when you're going to rely on your boxing ability, which that's what Devin has been doing, relying on his boxing ability and winning and making history. That's why I don't know why he decided to bang with Ryan Garcia. Why he decided to go toe-to-toe with him, I don't know. Maybe he felt like he was stronger and like he was going to be able to make it happen. But I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know why he chose to do that. Hash Bass. I like Santos, and Santos win. It's not an upset, and Keyshawn likes fighting short fighters. I feel like taller fighters will give Keyshawn problems. You see, Hash Bass, I understand what you're saying, but Keyshawn Davis is going to fight the best fighters in the division. You keep talking about shorter fighters, but do you want him to fight the best or do you want him to fight tall guys? Because the best guys in the division, they're shorter than Keyshawn Davis. What you want him to do? Tank Davis is shorter than him. Lomachenko is shorter than him. All of the guys that are at the top of the division are shorter than him. Right? That doesn't even make sense to make that argument, because then what you're saying is that none of the best should fight him, or that he shouldn't fight none of the best. Zayas, where you're not afraid of someone's power, you walk in the front door like it's nothing. That's facts. That's facts. That's why Devin Haney has to have great footwork all night long for his opponent. He has to be on point for 12 rounds because, you know, my man's going to keep coming forward and letting them hands go. And if he catches him with a big shot, we don't know how that's going to play out. Hash Bass. Haney might have power at 147 because he doesn't have to drain himself to make weight. I mean, listen, I'm not going to agree with you on that, my brother, and here's why. Power punchers are power punchers. If anything, it's the other way around. Power punchers knock people out, and as they go up in weight, they stop knocking people out because now they're facing bigger fighters who can take stronger punches, who've already used to fighting bigger guys. Power punchers, they don't just... People who don't got power don't just move up and gain power because they moved up. He's fighting bigger guys too. He's fighting harder punches as well. So I don't see, you know, how you see it. I don't see it that way. Devin Haney's never been a power puncher. He's never gonna be a power puncher. It's just not gonna happen. Elite Escubano. Are there any fighters you can recall that showed power later in their career after being led with pillow hands? I can't think of anybody. If you started your career as a pillow hand and you're already a pillow hand for 2 divisions, you're not going to move up to a third and become a power puncher. That's not even realistic. Ramirez has a puncher's chance any round. That's what I'm saying. Jose Ramirez got popped in both hands. And with Devin Haney coming off of that beating he took from Ryan Garcia, what is his punch resistance going to look like? Is he going to be able to handle a big shot and stay focused and stay poised? We got to see it. We got to see it. Hash Bass, I don't think Keyshawn is one of the best at 135. I mean, he's a world champion at 135. I don't know why you wouldn't think he's one of the best. I don't know. It's only 4 champions per division. Who are your 4 best at 135? Tell me 4 people at 135 that you believe are better than Keyshawn Davis. 556 Punisher. He will be a best if he boxes, if he banging, sometimes just smartly, committing to his punches, but man, he has no power. I'm telling you, Devin Haney, his best fight is when he's boxing, using his footwork, using his ring IQ. It doesn't matter if fans are going to say that it was boring, that they didn't like it, but that's his best bet to win fights. If he's going to go toe-to-toe, blow for blow with people, he could run into problems. Hash Bash, Clarissa move up to heavyweight and showing. Well, you're talking about women's boxing, bro. That's a whole different ball game. Elite Ex-Cubano. Key is most def one of the best at 135. Of course, Keyshawn is one of the best at 135. I don't know how Hash Bash says, I don't think he's one of the best at 135. Like, what? This guy's on a tear. This guy is a world champion. Like, how could he not be one of the best in the division? JJ's in the house. Punches are born with power, not taught to have power. That's a fact. A power puncher, you know him and recognize that he's a power puncher from the beginning of his professional career. Because in the amateur, sometimes guys hit hard, But because it's the 2 minute rounds, because of the scoring system, they don't knock out as many opponents. But as soon as a guy turns pro, you already know if this is a power puncher. Devin Haney's not a power puncher, never gonna be. And Hash Bass, you said Clarissa move up to heavyweight, and you're talking about power. Clarissa didn't knock out her opponent and went the distance. She dropped her, but she has one win in the heavyweight division, and it went the distance. So, what are we talking about? The fighter before that, in a lower division, she stopped her. So think about that. She stopped her opponent brutally and then moved up to heavyweight and it went the distance. So she's definitely not a harder puncher in that division. She don't got no stoppages for you to point out. Just Business, what's up, my boy? I gotta shake the chat up as usual. I think Canelo the face of boxing. Ryan Garcia up next. He can get better defense. I think everyone gonna keep Crawford out the way. Whoa, that's controversial. You know, with Canelo Alvarez, a lot of people agree with you. He's still the face of boxing. He's the most famous boxer in the world. As far as Canelo, I don't think he's the next face. As far as Ryan Garcia, I don't think he's the next face of boxing, my guy. Shakur Stevenson is the next face of boxing. But Ryan Garcia, a very good fighter. And I even believe that when he fights Devin Haney, he's probably going to win that rematch. 556 Punisher. Devin isn't boring to me. Devin isn't boring to me. Don't be running. He literally stands and commits to his punches like he did against Regis. That's a fact. Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis. That was a top level fight, and we saw Devin just dominate Regis. But after losing the way that he lost to Ryan Garcia, is he really going to fight like that versus Jose Ramirez? The same way he fought Regis? I don't know, bro. I really don't know. Blue Moon Tiger King, George Foreman, 1949-2025. So sad. I agree with you, man. George Foreman, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Lawrence Carmichael. Loma got more skills than all of them. I mean, Loma, the Matrix. You know, Lomachenko is also a generational talent. There's not too many that can fight like him. But, you know, with his inactivity, him being 37 years old, I think there's a few fighters that might be able to beat him at this point. Flip. Remember Clarissa said that she can beat Keith Thurman? Nah, I think that was just publicity. I mean, we already know there's no boxing between men and women. No sanctioning body would ever sanction that fight. So I think that she's just promoting her brand. If you think about it, once she said that, everybody on social media was talking about Clarissa Shields. Everybody, like her or hate her. And look, we're still talking about it. So that was smart marketing, if you ask me, my brother, because she know that fight's not going to happen. But she got us talking about it. Shaggy, Bud is the face to be next, then Stevenson. You know, I don't think Crawford is going to be seen as the face of boxing simply because he's so close to retirement. He might actually beat Canelo and retire right afterwards. So that's why I don't think so. I think if he beats Canelo, certainly that puts him up there. But he's on his way out of boxing. You know, it's different now. Shakur Stevenson, that's different. 27 years old. You put him as the face of boxing, he's going to be that guy for years to come. Hash Bass, Regis was tailor-made for Devin. Man, listen, we saw an ass whooping. We saw Devin Haney performing at the highest level and just put the Swiss beats and domination on Regis Prograis. Blue Moon Tiger King, Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul has been teased to take place in 2026, but we've already seen the outcome. What do you think if this is true? I mean, it looks like it may actually happen. I would say AJ's going down sad. Any high-level guy, you know, I understand you got to get your bag. Get your bag. But once AJ fights Jake Paul, I think that's him handing in his resignation on boxing. That's him saying, yo, I can't beat the best guys. Let me go make some money with this guy. You know, I think he beats up Jake Paul. Easy work. But that means that you can no longer compete versus the top guys in boxing. So now you're going to go fight this YouTuber. JJ's in their house. Haney felt that he could handle Regis' power. That's why he stood and fought. I mean, I think he also felt like he could outbox him, make him miss, and make him pay. And we've seen Devin Haney just developing more into a fighter that's more willing to stand there and trade with his opponent. I think that he's trying to be a more exciting fighter to watch. I think that could be part of it. Hash Bash, Clarissa had 2 heavyweight fights, KO, 1 drop, the other one was big. You got it, big dog, but that's women's boxing, man. We never seen it in men's boxing. But good point with Clarissa Shields, my brother. JJ Xander, when you can't handle someone's power, you can get on your bike and turn to survival mode. And look, that's the thing. Devin Haney, he has such great footwork that he can definitely fight you without having to go toe-to-toe, without having to trade leather. He can beat you on points. He can outbox you. And I think versus Jose Ramirez, that's what he may have to do. Box. Use that footwork. Use that ring generalship. Look for those angles. Because if he go toe-to-toe, blow for blow with Jose Ramirez, it could turn into a problematic situation, if you ask me. Elite ex-Cubano, Shakur should be the next face of boxing. I would like to see him to get more comfortable in the pocket and not pull straight back so much, though, like he did versus Edwin. What you think? To be honest, a lot of people, for whatever reason, will never admit that Shakur, will never accept that Shakur Stevenson was actually hurt for that fight. Showed up to that fight with problem in, I don't know if it was the left or the right hand, but he showed up injured. So basically, he just found a way to win that fight. He found a way to win, that's it. But the guy was hurt. I think Shakur Stevenson could have definitely put together a better performance versus De Los Santos than what he did if he was healthy. Now, I will say, De Los Santos, he's a good fighter, man. He very, very fast, great counter puncher, hard puncher with both hands. And you got to be careful with a guy like that. You show up and you're hurt and you underestimate him, you're going to have problems. So Shakur went up in there and did what he had to do to win that fight. That's how I see it. But we digress, my people. Yet so many people was telling me that Fundora was going to smoke Xander Zayas. And I don't see a lot of people saying that today. It's almost like, oh shit, the fight is really going to happen. Let me not say that anymore. What's up? Where's the people who was saying that Fundora was going to smoke Xander Zayas? Looks like nobody's saying it anymore. Blue Moon Tiger King. Savannah Marshall wants to have a rematch with Clarissa Shields. I mean, you know what? Their first fight was competitive. It was in the UK. I think that they should hold a rematch in the US. And I think Clarissa Shields already said that she was down for the rematch. You know, it was a good fight, their first fight. Even though Clarissa Shields won by unanimous decision, but it was still a good fight. I like to see it. I'm down with that rematch. I'm down with it. Flip, if Devin loses this fight, it will be a major blow to his career. But I think he gets past Ramirez. Listen, Devin Haney has a chip on his shoulders. Because you got to understand, with Ryan Garcia, that's a no contest. You could erase the loss that he had on his record when they overturned the decision, but you cannot erase that beating, that pummeling session. You cannot erase it from our minds. We all saw it. We all saw what happened. So Devin Haney has a chip on his shoulder. He has to look good. He has to win and look good doing it. If he struggles, if he barely wins by a split decision, if he wins by controversial decision where people felt he lost, his stock is going to drop. I mean, just look at it. He's on the undercard to Ryan Garcia. He's on the undercard to Ryan Garcia. So there's pressure on his end to perform. I promise you. Blue Moon Tiger King, Conor Ben going to take Eubank apart. I feel that way. I feel that way too, my guy. Conor Ben, he just got that mean energy, like he's trying to blow him out of there. Spark him out clean. He bringing that energy. He's bringing that type energy. Hash Bash, Shakur should be a superstar, and the best boxing because he had Floyd and Terrence and Ward walk him down to the ring. I mean, the people that walk you down to the ring don't make you a superstar. I don't know how you came up with that conclusion. Nobody becomes a superstar because who walks you. He got walked to the ring by those people because they all believe that he's the best. They believe he's the best. So they rocking with him. Blue Moon Tiger King. Tyson Fury, do you think he really retired? Say it true, please. Honestly, Tyson Fury has made so much money that I believe he's retired. I believe, he's getting older, and I don't think he wants to come back to get beat up by younger fighters. I only see Tyson Fury coming back if it's like, a big fight with AJ. He's not going to come back for Deontay Wilder. He's already beat him multiple times. Maybe a rematch with Usyk. But he's not going to come back to fight a younger fighter and get beat up. He's at the tail end of his career if he even tries to come back. Flip, that beating will remain in our heads forever. That's what I'm trying to tell you, my brother. You can erase that L from Devin Haney's record, but you cannot erase that beating. All them knockdowns. Devin Haney's face at the end of the fight looking swole up like a Ninja Turtle. Devin Haney came out of it. My jaw's not broken. My jaw's not... Jaw looking like... Come on, bro. He came out of there looking like Donatello. We're not going to forget that. So, Devin Haney, he has to win in beautiful fashion. Miss Bitch. Holy Bitch Queen. Bill Haney talked real good shit in the press conference. Miss Bitch is impressed. Yo, listen. That's one thing we got to admit. Bill Haney talked that talk. Bill Haney... if you go head-to-head talking trash with Bill Haney, you bound to take a loss. You'll take a L. Bill Haney talked that talk. That's a fact. A Boogie 616, blessing my brother. And I feel Keyshawn is in a great spot for himself. And Shakur definitely needs those fights. And like you said, he could be the face of boxing. I'm telling you, I truly believe that Shakur Stevenson is going to become the face of boxing. I see all of the tangibles, and I see the perfect storm for me so that Shakur can become that guy. Miss Bitch, Holy Bitch Queen. Devin looked like the Ninja Turtle with the blue mask. I think his name was Donatello. Donatello was the one with the purple joint. Yo, I'm telling you, his jaw looking like Donatello after the Ryan Garcia fight. So, we could, they could erase the L that he had in his record, but they're not going to erase that picture from our memory. Devin Haney looking like a Ninja Turtle after taking that type of beating. Love more Hinduism. Tail Pops talk that shit too. Yeah. Tail Pops definitely be talking that shit. I think I would like to see Teofimo Pops and Devin Haney Pops just going at each other. Just cursing each other out. Flip, hey, Jay, who you got between Lopez and Barboza? I was just saying earlier, my brother, listen. Barboza is a very good fighter. He's an elite level fighter. He got power in both hands. He's confident in himself. He's been calling out Teofimo Lopez. And by the way, Teofimo didn't just choose to fight Barboza. This fight got mandated. So Teofimo was going to have to either vacate the title or fight Barboza. I'm glad he chose to fight him. We already know Teofimo is about that smoke. But Barboza, I believe, is the one that could pull off the upset on that night. I got Ryan Garcia knocking Rollies out. Clean. Sleeping him. And Devin Haney, if he's going to go back to the old Devin Haney where he's going to box you, where he's going to use his footwork, his movement in the ring, I see Devin Haney walking out of there with a W. If he's going to trade leather versus Jose Ramirez, go toe-to-toe, I think he could get in trouble. I don't think that's the fight that he wants to make. Hash Bash, Bill Haney talked that talk because he doesn't have to fight. I mean, hey, it's not just because he doesn't have to fight, my brother. You got to understand, Devin Haney is very quiet. He's not a big trash talker. He talks trash if he has to. But if you look at at Devin Haney, even in the press conference, he's very quiet, very professional. He'll respond to the fighters, but he's not really trying to engage them like that. So in that team, Bill Haney is the hype man. Bill Haney's the one that's gonna talk that talk. That's gonna amp up the fights. And he's doing a great job with that. For sure. Blue Moon Tiger King. Dana White in Turkey allow Sheik launch a boxing league. One belt era. Listen, Blue Moon King. Dana White in Turkey allow Sheik, it hasn't started yet. We have to see when the league actually kicks off. But when I saw what they're going to pay, like if you're ranked, if you're a champion, those numbers didn't add up too well, man. Those numbers didn't look like they're going to be able to sign any of the big stars. The highest pay that I saw was like $750,000 if you're defending your title. Now you tell me guys like Tank Davis, Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford, and all these other guys who are fighting for millions of dollars, would they ever consider fighting in that league for hundreds of thousands of dollars? So the numbers that I saw on there that people are going to get paid, to me that looks like a league where up-and-coming fighters are going to go there to make a name for themselves. And then as soon as their contract is up, they're going to leave. Because once you become a name and you can make millions of dollars, why are you going to stay in a league that's going to pay you $300,000, $500,000, $700,000, where you can make a lot more money? So right now, if they don't change that pay scheme to where big stars are able to make millions, they're not going to be able to get the big stars. They not, bro. So I got to see how that's going to develop. Shaggy, Barboza for the stop. Ryan with the TKO and Ramirez with the TKO. Ooh, look, you tough. You calling it real tough, my brother, because I know Barboza's real good, got power in both hands, but Teofimo Lopez, he a dog, and he ain't never been stopped. So that's a bold prediction right there. Ryan with the TKO. I got Ryan winning, maybe even by knockout, and Ramirez with the KO. So you got two upsets. You got Devin Haney getting knocked out. Damn, bro. You got Teofimo and Devin Haney getting stopped on the same night. That shit would be crazy. That would be insane. John Parham, Bill Busy beefing with Charleston White now. Oh, man. Like, why you even going back and forth with a dude who has absolutely nothing to do with boxing? Bill tripping on that. He tripping. Love more Hinduism. I don't want Dana in boxing. I mean, I don't know. The numbers that I saw in there, I personally didn't like it. Let's see. I guess we got to give them a chance and see what they're going to bring to the table. Blue Moon Tiger King. Dana White in Turkey allow Sheik launch. Oh, okay. I saw it, seen that already. JJ Zendejas. Up-and-coming fighters and fighters that are coming down. Correct. Guys who already, their names are not in the picture anymore. They getting their ass whooped left and right. They can't get an opponent. Let me go over here and make a little money with these people. People like that. And listen, when you're starting a new league to say we're going to have our own title, it's going to be hard for fighters to put that title ahead of the main sanctioning bodies. Like, you got the WBC, the IBF, the WBO. Which one am I missing? Come on now. The IBF. Come on, bro. And now you have a whole new title that y'all just made up, your own title. And y'all pay less money than what these guys are making over here. Y'all going to have a hard time. Y'all not going to be having the stars. Like I said earlier, His Excellency and Dana, they're going to, I guess, be bringing in, prospects, guys just turning pro who aren't making any money, so they'll be happy to make a little money over there. But as soon as they make a name for themselves and that contract is up, they're gonna get out of there. That's how I see it right now. Blue Moon Tiger King. It does happen. Do you think it will kill boxing? Say the truth. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think that new league is going to have a negative impact on boxing. If anything, there's some fighters that will be making a little bit of money by going over there. Love more Hinduism. AB can fight Dar. Adrian Broner and who's Dar, my brother? Elite ex-Cubano. Those belts have too much history to just ignore. That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't know. It's almost like they want to make their own thing, but I don't know that works so sudden. Because who's really going to care about your belt? If you think about it, me as a fan, I don't care about your belt. I put a lot of weight on the WBC. That green belt, who's been worn by Ali, by George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Julio Cesar Chavez, Oscar De La Hoya, Pernell Whitaker. That green belt has been worn by the best of the best, Floyd Mayweather. Come on now. And y'all gonna have your own belt just coming out of the blue. Like, yeah, look, this is our belt right here. Who gives a fuck about that belt? But what I will say is that at the end of the day, we want to see good fights. If you can bring good fighters to your promotional outfit and put them to fight each other, we're going to tune in. We're going to watch those fights. As far as how much money they make, that's going to be up to the fighters. If that's the route that they want to go. But I will tell you, if they put together good cards, we'll watch. We're going to tune in. Blue Moon Tiger King, Turki Al-Sheikh is the new daddy of boxing. I mean, I've been saying, man, he's been making boxing great again. Been making a lot of great fights, a lot of great cards. Had a couple of hiccups here and there recently, but he's been doing his thing. Been doing his thing. Love more Hinduism. The turkey belt, shaking my head. Yeah, that turkey belt, man, I don't know. I don't know about that belt that they bringing up. I felt like they should have just did their own promotional company and competed with the rest of them. You know, have your fighters fight guys from the zone, from Matchroom, from Top Rank, from everywhere. This whole thing about, we're going to have our own belt and our own whole promotional where everything is going to be internal. I'm not really feeling that. And like I said, who's going to be interested in the turkey belt? Who's going to be interested? Who wants it? There's literally going to be zero history behind that belt. That's why I say, if you're an up-and-coming fighter, the opportunity to make money and grab a title, you'll go for it. Or if you're somebody who's already coming down, your career is down, nobody's calling you, you're not able to get fights, go over there, make some money, and try to get you, that turkey belt. Other than that, I don't see any other guys who got that green belt or them other belts trying to get themselves a turkey belt. I don't know. We don't have to see. Love more Hinduism. It kind of reminds me of the Contender. Man, listen, having your own boxing league is tricky. It's very tricky, but they have very, very smart people behind it. People with a lot of money behind it. So we have to give them a shot. You cannot just dismiss them. You cannot just say, somebody said in the other live, that's going to last at most 2-3 years, and then they're going to just go out of business. Nah, wait a minute. We got to see how this whole thing is going to play out and the type of fighters that they're going to be able to bring to that promotion. And let's see. Let's see how the cookie crumbles. My peoples, I'm about to end this live. As always, I want to give a shout out. John Parham, Love More Hinduism, Blue Moon Tiger King, my peoples, Elite Ex-Cubano, appreciate you dropping in, showing some love. And everybody, JJ Zayas, by the way, too, in the building, Hash Dash, appreciate you, my G Shaggy. Everybody who always come through, show me love. It's like 1 more minute to go before I get out of here, man. You need to hit that like button. Don't be treating me like I'm a C-level fighter, like I'm out here getting beat up by D-level fighters. I'm giving y'all the real deal Holyfield when it comes to this boxing shit. By the way, tomorrow I'm going to be live at 9. Y'all already know how we do it. Y'all already know how we get it popping. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm Jay Smith, and this is Box Center, your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. We already got 1,000 subscribers. We headed to 2,000 subscribers, and then we going for the million. We going for the million, my peoples. This is gonna be the best boxing channel. Period. Ain't no getting around it. It's the inevitable. Y'all already know what it is, my peoples. Let me go grab something to eat. Y'all go grab something to eat, and let's all get the fuck out of here. Peace.